What is up, guys? Jake from OneHive here with the next Coffee and Clash video. Hope you guys are off to a great start to your weekend. Chill, pour a cup of coffee, maybe grab just whatever you drink in the morning. I don't know. If you like to party, maybe a beer. Probably too early for that. Unless you're over the pond, then it's probably beer 30. Enjoy some replays and some questions from the viewers. As always, leave me some questions for future videos. Don't leave me a bunch of questions about the update and stuff like that, because I'm going to do a video covering that. And I know it's going to be the first thing that's like 30 questions. What about the friendly challenge, all stuff? I'm going to cover all that stuff, so you don't really have to ask about it. Think of something else, some better questions. So let's get started. Marty Schwartz, is there ever any confusion between you and the other Jake? Love the vids, by the way. Been watching over a year now. Thank you, Marty, for the long time support. And oh my goodness, yes, there's confusion. I mean, literally, our names are both Jake, capital J. There's no difference. They actually have to look at the base sometimes to know who they are, unless our trophy range is different. But it's very confusing. They call him fake Jake now, and me real Jake. And then there's another Jake. I think he's in Prime. I'm going to look through the thing here, but I think he's in Prime actually. But he does have a last name attached to it, or Jake the Rake or something like that. So there's three Jakes. And then someone was telling me, one of the guys that handled the recruitment was like, someone just applied that just literally had the name Jake, and he just said, I can't do it. I just can't do it. So yeah, there's too many Jakes. It's very confusing at times. But we usually get by with, Jake the Rake, Jake, and fake Jake. So right now, that's where we're at. Young PM7, Coffee and Clash question. Hey, Jake, long-time follower of your channel. Appreciate that. I love your stuff. After watching the Coffee and Clash episode 30, I noticed two questions that asked you about modding in OneHive. One specifically asked why you haven't posted a video directly about people like Master Wheat or Hold My Beer or other modding with the game. You answered the question was that it doesn't warrant a video. My question to you is, does your following and your subscribers not have a say in what warrants a video anymore? This seems like a hot topic that many people are interested in, and it appears twice on a Coffee and Clash episode. I'm sure it's occurred much more within your comments. Why not give the community what they want and just post a video about what they were asking for? I've always been someone who says you do this for us. Hope things stay that way. Thanks, Jake. Yeah, man. No, I mean, I get what you're saying, but here's the thing. Time for me is at a premium. I mean, I don't have an abundance of time, and to literally sit down and make a full video just announcing, hey, so-and-so got caught closet modding, he's been removed from the clan. That takes away from another video. Whether it be a Coffee and Clash that's an enjoyable video, or maybe a cleanup video with a lesson that's in there. Something else that, in my opinion, and I think what most of my viewers would like to see, that serves them better. It teaches them something. What does that video teach you when I say, hey guys, just a quick update video. We'll let you know that Master Wheat came out of the closet and he was a closet modder, and we've removed him from the clan in all of our chats. Does that further anything? No, it doesn't. I'm not trying to hide it. It was acknowledged on Twitter. It's something that everyone knows about that cares. Yes, a video like that gets a lot of views, but I've never done this for the views. I don't do clickbait. I don't do stuff like that, and I don't see the need in it personally. Now, I will, again, I try to respond to things. I try to be open about it. Yes, you guys definitely have a say in the direction of the channel. But something like that, honestly, I think if I put it to a vote, most people would say, no, I don't want a video like that. If I had my 10 or 15, whatever you want to call it, active subscribers, 15,000 active subscribers, and all of them voted, I think it would overwhelmingly be, I do not want you to dedicate a video just to let us know that someone came out of the closet that was closet modding or got caught or whatever. That being said, now it's a non-issue. I mean, modding is essentially dead. Yes, there's still modding out there. Yes, there's some ways around it, but my goodness, it is complicated. It is in depth. It takes a tremendous amount of time, and nobody in OneHive is doing it. I can assure you, we are 100% fair play at this point. There's no sense even discussing it as far as OneHive is concerned anymore. Decimate or Rage, Coffee and Clash. Who is that in the CNC thumbnail, trying to zoom in and can't see still? That is an old schooler. You guys, some of y'all might remember this name. Some of you may not. But if you've been around sure enough since the beginning, you'll know exactly who it is. I used to show a lot of his replays. Zang88. We used to just call him Zang. Was a great attacker back in the day. Way before back in the Holo Wee Wee days, he was go Wee Wee in bases that no one else could go Wee Wee and getting 3 stars. So I'm talking a long time ago, but long time member of OneHive. So that's old Zang, man. Let's see, hybrid December. It's sad to see Jake in this position where he did nothing wrong, yet he has to defend all these accusations. Hey, don't worry about me, honestly, guys. Yes, I've never modded a day in my life. Don't plan on it. But don't ever feel bad for me because I can take it. I'm thick-skinned. I'm an adult. All this stuff is not. If I couldn't take it, I wouldn't do this. I put myself out there. I put myself in the public eye. So do not feel like I've heard it all. I've seen it all. It does not bother me. Honestly, I promise it doesn't. The only time I get down is like things like the friendly challenge. Luckily, that disaster was averted. But that's the only time I truly get down is things to do with the game. It has nothing to do with accusations or things like that. Those things just bounce off of me. So don't worry about me. Just I'll be okay, I promise. Josh Springer, great vid, Jake. How long do you think it will take for Supercell to bring in events and new ways of playing the game? Example, tournaments, shorter wars, etc. Man, it was interesting when we were on the stream with Galadon. We talked quite a bit about that and why it hasn't already happened. And maybe it's just because their main focus was truly getting a handle on this modding situation, the cheat situation. But if they don't do it in this year for 100%, and I'm going to say in the next 3 or 4 months, I think they're making a huge mistake. We've talked about it before. 3 or 4 months in the gaming world is an eternity. It's not like real life. People have very short attention spans when it comes to games, and you've got to keep it interesting and hot. So if they're not working on it today, I think they're behind. I think they need to start. But hopefully that is already on their plates. Who knows? Because even being ND8, you don't get to know stuff like that. I get to know things like 2 weeks before you guys do. That's it. Now, maybe some of those guys that are flying over to Finland, they get a little bit more access, but just a straight-up guy like me that's never been there and just ND8, we don't talk about the future. I mean, we try to, but Supercell does not talk about the future or the direction of the game with us, more or less. It's more about what's coming in the immediate future, in the next couple of weeks. So hopefully they're working on this. If not, they need to be. They need to be because we need it desperately. Now they've checked off the number 1 on the list, and the number 2 is new game modes. So hopefully they're on it. Goni Marina? CNC question: doing AQ walk at Town Hall 9 is that? I don't know if you mean greater than Town Hall 9. I'm assuming you mean greater than Town Hall 9. Do you let your queen join the kill squad or let her walk in the other direction? Thanks for the vids. I love them. It totally depends on what's in the clan castle. If you have things like witches, wizards, stuff like that in the CC, then yes, it's wonderful to let her join up and sort of go in there with them. If there is dragons, things like that, that's all good for her to join up with. If there is golems or lava hounds, I usually think more times than not, the queen is better served letting her walk away and take out another section of the base, those defenses, and dealing with the clan castle. Doing that lure we talked about in the lure video that I did not too long ago about different techniques, and that's one of them. Walk the queen away, send in 1 troop when it clears out some defenses to where you can get an easy CC lure and bring it out and let the queen handle that. So just totally depends on what's in that clan castle, to determine the answer to your questions. Hope that makes sense. It's Forky. Hey, Jake, sub since January 2015. Long time sub, man. Appreciate that. With the recent split of OneHive and the retirement / moving on of some of core players, HB, Cheatham, etc., has OneHive's overall skill and war ability been reduced, or are your new recruits to OneHive keeping the standard of the previous core group that have moved on? Also, would OneHive consider making another clan to regrow its string of OneHive name, or similarly, would it join in alliance with another non-OneHive clan? Good question, and I talked about this in a recent video. I wouldn't say this if I didn't believe it. I truly believe right now we're as strong as we've ever been. I mean, you look at the war against Dragonflower. That was an amazing performance, top to bottom. I mean, top to bottom. The nines have stepped up. Yes, they had a couple bad wars, but that doesn't mean anything. I mean, people have bad wars. I really think that nines across the board, across Clash of Clans, got very complacent. They got very lazy. They were so used to easily 3-starring with the extra time and before the expo buffs and all the things that you could do. Just queen walk for a day and a half and then send your troops in when there was 20% of the base left. I mean, it was literally that crazy. So I think they got lazy. I think they stopped planning. I think they just relied on mass Valks. Base design is catching up with Valk strategies a little bit. And it's just something they got to start putting the effort in again. I think that's happening. I think they're realizing that. And it's not a bad thing. They're enjoying the game. When that happens, they enjoy the game more. So it's a good thing that it's not an automatic 3-star. But I think that's part of it. And then I've said in the last few videos, our 10s and 11s have never done better, ever. Not in the history of OneHive. This is the best Town Hall 10s and 11s we've ever had. Period, the end. So I think, personally, we're as strong as we've ever been right now. I really believe that. I wouldn't say it if I didn't. A month ago, we weren't. A month ago, we weren't as strong as we've ever been. We did go through a few rough weeks, I guess I would say. But this game, it can quickly turn around. And I think we're on an upswing. Things look really, really good. As far as expanding the OneHive, we're fine right now with the 2 clans. I would say in the future, yes, you'll see a 3rd clan. We will never, I've said it before, we'll never have sister clans again or, try to partner with clans. It will always be a feeder system. We've tried that in a variety of methods. It's never ended well, so we have all decided that we just won't be trying that anymore. I mean, we learn from our mistakes eventually. So yes, I think there will be expansion at some point in the future. Who knows when? But right now, we're fine where we're at. In Nemesis, can you please do a dedicated video on the queen walk? I have been farming with queen plus healers method for quite some time now. Got my queen to level 30 and king soon to follow. Very nice. Yet I feel like I still can't get her to walk the direction I want 100%. You guys are pros, so naturally it looks so very easy when I watch. I'm very hesitant to use this method in a war when it's a close score. Thanks. Keep up the good work. You can power back on my top sources for war content. Well, man, I'm really glad the videos have helped you, and that's awesome that you farmed up that much. I have done a video, a dedicated video, a long, detailed video on Queen Walk, the definitive Queen Walk guide, something along those lines. You need to look in my playlist, under the attack strategy section. It's in there. A lot of great info. And yes, the queen is very predictable. Now, we make it look easy, but you're looking at the good attacks. There's times that my queen goes the wrong ways. There's going to be times your queen goes the wrong way. It just can happen occasionally. But with good, careful planning, you can predict where she's going to go 90% of the time, or better. The times that she goes wrong for me, I probably just didn't plan well enough. I didn't look closely enough. I didn't count tiles, things like that. But go to that video, watch it. I think it'll make a lot more sense to you, and you're going to have a lot more success, and you won't be scared to use it. You really won't. Let's check that out. Gabriel Cantrez. CLC question. Hey, Jake, big fan. Do you think that learning to queen walk is mandatory or imperative for Town Hall 10? Since I am Town Hall 9, I do not queen walk much and want to start learning it. So when I get to Town Hall 10, I'm a little more ready. Yes, absolutely. You need to be queen walking right now. You need to make yourself start doing it. Basically every attack. Learn it cold. It's still very effective at Town Hall 9. It is mandatory at Town Hall 10 and 11. You have to be comfortable with that. And again, reference the video I just mentioned. Go there, watch it maybe a few times. Learn it, start practicing it. You'll get much better, and you've got to have it. You've got to have that in your bag of tricks, no question about it. Grape Drink. Hey, Jake, Twitch sub here. Since you're split with OneHive Genesis, how do you apply to join OneHive 1.0? Great question. I have got to get all of my stuff updated. I've got to get in touch with my graphics guy because it's going to be a pain on my Twitter, all my overlays on Twitch, all of that stuff. So it's got to be updated, which is an absolute pain, but I'm going to get it done. You want to go to onehiveraids.org, and I'll put that link in the description, but that is our new website. That's where you want to apply if you want to be in OneHive. You will go through a feeder clan, OneHive Prime, but that is where everybody has to apply, onehiveraids.org. I will try to get all that stuff updated so it's easy for you to get. It's fine. I do have the link on my Twitter as well, so if you go to there, you'll see it. It's already updated, but not on the actual graphic, I don't think, but that's where you want to be, man. David Della Serna. So it's a question, what are your recommendations on the placement of spring traps to deal with these Valks? I tried out placing traps around the town hall with hope they would get sprung. Well, it didn't work. Thank you for your vids. Yes, but see, vouchers are tricky, and that's tricky for attackers and for defenders. It goes both ways. You want to put those spring traps in clusters of buildings that are touching each other. And it really doesn't matter which angle they come from because they're going to go into those cluster areas. You see what I'm saying? Unlike a hog or something, it totally matters which angle they come from. A Valk, it doesn't. They'll come from the left or the right. They're going to end up in the exact same spot to swing when those buildings are touching. So you want to, or when they're close together. So you want to catch them on that path when they're going in. It's a little bit trickier. It's a little hard to catch them, especially if they're raged up. A lot of times they'll just run right past them, run right over them. But depending on how many there are, it can catch some of the back ones. It's tough. It's not as easy, but try to think about the fact that the Valks are going to go to these clusters. How are they going to get there? You've got to catch them. They're going to be attracted to those areas with no space, which is actually, there's no room for a spring trap. So you've got to put it in those spots where they're going to walk over it right before they get there, or maybe in that little sweet spot right in a 90 degree where there's like 3 buildings around it. Things like that are going to be your best bet to catch those Valks, but it's not easy. It's not easy. But with the spring trap stuff changing, when you do catch them, it's going to be more effective. Instead of just throwing 1, you're going to be able to throw 2. So that's going to help base designers for sure. All right, guys, there you go. Wonderful questions this time. Again, probably later today I'll have that video out about all of the stuff going on with the friendly challenge and all that, the update and how that's going. So be looking forward for that. Awesome arranged war this weekend. We are going for our 300th win, and we're going against WHF, which is always a hyped up war. It's always fun. I'm sure I'll be streaming. I'm sure Powerbang will be streaming. It is going to be insane, and they are going for I think 150. So it's pretty crazy. It's going to be a pretty epic war, no question about it. Be sure to be looking for that, and obviously I'll have a big recap for it. So hope you guys are happy about that and looking forward to it as much as I am. Hope you enjoyed the video. Until next time, Jake from OneHive, doing my best to help you guys suck less.